Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2, where we are continuing to grow our UK transportation company. And last episode we built a brand new cargo route, another way for us to grind out some sweet cash, pay those bills to fund future expansions. Now today we are actually going to build more passenger lines. I know, but this is quite an important one because it's going to be quite connected to the main kind of systems and cities. And what we're going to do is we're going to run a line that is going to go from Birmingham all the way up to Liverpool. Now, the way we build this is then going to determine how we build all the other networks around it, which is really important. So we'll get onto that in just a moment, but I want to talk to you guys about a lot of you commenting about that I need to do certain stuff here and there, upgrade this, upgrade that. I've got this really big problem at the moment where your boy does not have enough money. I know I'm in this weird predicament right now. I know a lot of you guys are screaming about Seniac, stop upgrading the carriages, replace the whole train. I can't replace the whole train, it's too expensive. Okay, like if I select the train right now, because we all know that the train speed is based on the slowest carriage, which obviously I can't remember what these are, but you know that's what it's based on. But also it's the more we add to it means the more weight to the engine, so we might not even get to the minimum speed because the minimum speed is then being slowed down with the weight of the actual trains. You know what I mean? Now in an ideal world I would like to replace these, right? Did I just duplicate? No. Wait, what did I just do there? I feel like I did something and I don't know what I just did. No, I didn't do anything. Okay, all good. In an ideal world, I'd like to replace these. And that would be kind of going for like a diesel. If I went for something like a bit more pulling power, for example, I went, down this road. What's the cheapest one? So the cheapest one is this one. That's 2.9 million. But let's say I went for this one and added that. And then passenger-wise, I added something like, what's got the best? 33 people. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4 in total. 132 capacity, which is still less than what we currently got right now. So adding one more, right, to get that to relatively what is there and to kind of maintain speeds and all that kind of jazz. 12.7 million. I know. Crazy. Can't afford it right now. So we're kind of going to have to wait before I can do that. That's the whole reason that I'm upgrading the carriages rather than the whole trains themselves. But we will eventually get there, guys. Just have a little bit of patience right now. Just have a little bit of patience because I'm trying to build more lines. So if you are enjoying this series so far, after that little ramble, smash that like button down below. And if you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when episodes do come out. So what I want to do then is I want to run a line that goes from Liverpool down to Birmingham, which will eventually then go through Bristol and then kind of connect here and end at Exeter. So like how these lines end one of the kind of the cities on the southern line, that's where that one's going to end. Now it's quite important for many reasons, because as it kind of passes down into Bristol, eventually it then sets up for a connecting route going this way. But it's more important for the northern route here. So the way we're going to situate this train station for Liverpool right now is we're going to try and get it posting vertically this way, because it then would also be used as the end run for a line that goes up towards Scotland. Now with the implementation of our elevated train stations, I'm going to try and get an elevated platform that runs the opposite direction to the ground platform, which will be the line that kind of passes through Manchester, through Leeds, all the way to Scarborough. I don't know actually whether it will kind of go down into Sheffield, or maybe they kind of crisscross at Leeds on that line, which probably what will happen. So I'm trying to get 2 elevations of platform on one train station. No, I've never done that before. I've only for the first time ever built my elevated train lines here. But I want to see if I can build 2 levels of train line on a station, ground and above. It's going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting. Now, well, we do have a little bit of money coming in. We made 6 million that. Wow, 6 million that previous year. Okay, I think we're now starting to turn around. I know I need to pay back my loan. Right, okay. Let me just build this route, and then after this, we'll repay back our loan and replace our trains. So, for here then, for Birmingham, I'm going to do an elevated train line. I like the idea of it. It means I don't have to delete too much of the city, and we can kind of connect in a little bit closer. It also then means you're going to have to think about doing some kind of system where they get from one train station to the other to crisscross. That's why we might start implementing trams. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this line of road here as my marker point to build my elevated train line here. So build it. Whoa, we've got new ones. Elevated train station. Hold on, boys. Have we got new stations right now? That is fancy. I'm not even going to lie to you right now. We have a compact elevated train station. Okay. I feel like it's making my game go a bit funky. What else do we have? It's just those two. Right, there we go. So, if I was to do something like this, which looks absolutely redonkulous right now. Station height, 17. I don't know if you can... How much is that? Okay, 100,000. I don't know if you can add on to it, because what I would want... Track layout, number 4. I would want to have a bypassing section going through it. So I don't know if you can actually customize this. Let me just find out if you can actually customize this right now. So configure. No. Okay, these can't be customized. So as good as that would have been... It's not the style that I want. But that was pretty cool to see, though, right? That was pretty cool to see. Right, back to the train stations, anyway. So, train station, passenger. I need elevated, don't I? Elevated passenger is what I need. So, I've got to try and figure this out. So, let's first get it level, right, with the road, which that's as good as you're going to get it. And I feel like I want it around about here. Now, I've got to bear in mind about where the platforms are. It actually doesn't really matter because I can kind of customize them myself. But let me flip this right round first. Let me put this about there because of the buildings and whatnot. So that's going to cost $1 million just to place that in. I'm actually going to pause it so the buildings underneath don't regenerate. So that is... Oh, do you know what I didn't actually try to test? The sheer size of it. Are we dropping down off a hill here? We kind of do, but we can kind of figure that out anyway, so it's not a huge problem. So let me now modify this train station. So elevated tracks. So we've got to do it like this because I always want a bypassing train line for when we start running cargo alongside as well. Now what we'll do, we'll run it back this way. The station rather than the other way because that's slowly dropping off on a hill. So I don't want to keep doing that because it will just make it even higher and higher and higher. So we'll do one more set here. And that's, I feel that's a pretty decent length in terms of a train station. So elevated platforms, get all these puppies in. Do you know what? I'm building all of these and I don't know if my main buildings are going to reach the floor down below. Maybe I should have added those in before doing anything else. Right. Get the underpasses so we can utilize both sides of the train station. And then we'll do our elevated passenger buildings. So let's start on this side. See, this is what I mean. I'm not going to get it in, am I? I mean, I can get it in down there, but it doesn't really do what I want it to do. Oh, this is annoying. This is so annoying. And the worst thing is, boys, I can't even move it. I've got to delete it and redo it again. That's the annoying bit. So if I move it back about there. Right, if I push this to here. Actually, let me just do this here. Right. What I should have done is add the main building first. There we go. So we'll do one there, and I'll do one there. That should be good enough for me. So configure this. Back to elevated tracks. Now the fact that I've moved it a little bit further down as well is actually quite handy because now the drop off is not so high. I might do just one more set. And then we'll do one set here. And I reckon that would be okay for now. So elevated platforms, right. I'm literally doing everything all over again because I'm such a damn fool here. Now, I don't mind too much if I can't get a building on the opposite side. It would be a lot more handier to be able to do it. So elevated your passenger... Oh, we can get one in. By the looks of it, yeah. So let's try and replicate it on the same side of it. So one there and one there. I know it's quite expensive, but yeah, that's perfect. That's actually perfect. So got in what I needed to kind of get done. So it's going to elevate through Birmingham right now. You can now see the kind of slight coverage that it does give us. A nice little radius around here. Now don't worry about everywhere else, because that's where we're going to get tram lines and bus routes and all that kind of jazz connected in. So it should work out in the end. So we just need to get the train line out and then on the ground. Yeah, because I feel like the elevated one for Liverpool will go towards Manchester because it's got to go up a hill. Actually, through here, it's going to go through the hill. So the station down here will be on the floor. So let's actually build this one first. Again, while I've got the cash to get this connected. So we're going to do it going this way, which will eventually continue up that way, and then an elevated one going that way. And then we'll do a kind of bus route, tram route, whatever it needs to be to kind of get connected inside. So, passenger station. We'll do a decent size. I know it's going to be quite a busy little area, this. And I'm going to situate it where I want it, and then I'll build roads to it. So I know this is going to be not a pain. Not a pain, but it's just going to be a bit funky to get this all in. So if I go here, right. So if I go there and then quickly edit it and tracks. So 1, 2, 3. All right, spam all these in. Come on, boys. Platforms. There we go. And then the underpasses, which just comes under miscellaneous for this one. One here, one there, one there. Right, okay. That's now all in. Don't worry about the big kind of thing in the ground. We can kind of sort that out. But how would... Now, this is my question right now. How would an elevated track work? I think it will be classed as a separate station altogether, right? So by that logic then, let me first connect up the road. So if I bring this down to here and then connect you directly into there as a connection. Now I don't know whether that will go down there. It's up to that what it does. But in terms of now elevated passenger line, yeah, we would literally do it like this, right? If I just make it a little bit smaller and put it like that, and then this is kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. Is there such thing as an elevated? No, there's not an elevated end station. Oh, actually, I could make it an elevated end station. Well, not technically an elevated end station, but what I could do is put like this here. And then if I edit the actual building, so elevated passenger buildings, you can put it on the end like this. Like that. And I can do a smaller one just there as well to connect. So how it would actually work is, because technically it doesn't actually, you can't get off the platform here and you've got to, and get to this one. You've got to technically walk out the building, cross over the road and then go up this building to get on that platform. So it would work. It's just there's a little bit of configuration that they've got to do to get up there. It's the best we can achieve at this point. So we don't need the 4 lanes because it's technically treated as an end route. So we just need an additional line. And then we just need the passenger platform here. Now, I don't know whether I need to do the underpass. I've got an underpass just there. I'll do another one here and here because it connects to the very end. But as funky as that looks, it will work because wherever station they get to, they just walk out, walk down, walk over, walk in. It's just a short little walk. It's as if you're in Birmingham in the real world right now. If you know this, you know this. If you get off at New Street and need to go to Moore Street, there's a slight little walk. So there you go. There you go. And that's how we crisscross. Damn. This could be good. This could be good. Now what's crazy is as well that there's a couple of oil sections just here that could be brought down to there. I could utilize train lines on them as well, but we'll get to that at a later date, boys. I got 5.8 milli right now to build train tracks to connect up and over. So we'll start with the middle. I'm going to go up and out, and it is going to cause a few issues. My options are to allow it to drop down naturally and try and get to the floor as quick as possible. Why is that not connecting? What's going on with this? Hold on, let me bring this. Can I bring this down to the ground now? Right, there we go to the ground. Ha ha. There we go. There we go. Oh, this is going to be so good. Right, hopefully we can get all this now up and running. So I might bring it out by a little bit. Now, we're not seeing the problems that we were seeing once upon a time in London. But I'll be honest with you. Oh no. I don't think it's 100% right, but I'm not going to argue. I think it's okay. I don't think they're technically elevated because... Oh no, do you know what? They're not elevated. You know, want to know why? We don't have the stilts underneath. I think they're still being glitched out and thinking that they're on the ground, but they're not on the ground. Oh no. Right, if I delete these, do I get a refund? How much of a refund do I get? They're technically... I think it'll be okay, but they're technically not elevated. Because I'll show you on this side what I mean. If I come out here, like there's no issues, but if I change it, it's on default as if you're on the ground. Then you change it to a bridge. And then that's where you get the bridge pillar issue. So I might just leave it like that, just for the sake of it. Don't tell nobody, okay, guys? Don't tell nobody. Right. We're going to lead out right now. And hopefully it's not too much cash at this point. So I like to go a little bit longer, just kind of give us a little bit more space for the length of the trains. And we've got to do a crisscross, which I didn't do on the last one. So a crisscross just there. So just after these guys up here. Oh, can we not do a crisscross here? Yeah, we can. There we go. And we just got to get these now connected. So let's just see what it naturally wants us to do. Okay, it's not that good. So it kind of bips and bops and goes up and over. But this is not our first rodeo, boys. Okay, it might be our first rodeo because now it's getting a little bit tasty. And we're starting to run out of money as well. So all my money is now disappearing. But we've got in the stations where we want them and the train lines coming out. So we'll just now wait until we've got a few more pennies coming in. Damn, this is going to be so expensive. But so good if we can get it all completed. So good. So let's have a little fast forward then and try and get some money being made right now. So expect to lose a lot of cash at this point. Expect to lose a lot of cash until we can get some more journeys completed. So I might just slowly trying to bit and bob it and trying to afford it where I can. So too much of a slope here apparently. It might be worth actually deleting the road here. And then connecting that up. Too much of a slope. Right. I think I need to go back a little bit. Because that's what it's trying to attempt to do right now. So that there is limited to 56. 112. Cement bridge 199. So it might have to be a cement bridge. It's 1.6 million. Unfortunately, it's what I gotta do because we go over a slight little valley. And I do want to keep the speed up. I know it's counterintuitive to the standard rails that I've got. I don't have the high speed rails. But I will eventually upgrade those. Again, it all comes down to money, guys. But saying that, we're pretty much done. That is now completed. So I do want it to go through Bristol and I want it to connect to there. So all I've got to do is build the Bristol station, then bring the rail into it and then leading back up to Birmingham, which I'm thinking, what's the elevation? Yeah, we're going to stick down to here to run it. So I can't go up near those cliffs. So it probably makes sense to either pull it through the city or just run the train on in the outskirts of the city just there. It might help us out with a... Yeah, I'm going to do it on the outskirts here because it might help us out with a connection to Cardiff if I do run a train line that way. I don't know. I don't know yet. But passenger station. Now, like many things, it's technically not in the best location, but that's what bus lines are going to be for. So we have to delete a nice chunk of the industrial, unfortunately. And let's build the rest of this. You know, you can't be scared of deleting like the industrial or certain parts of it. As long as you don't delete all of it, so where the city can't grow back, then you're fine. Oh, I've just realised this is actually creating a little bit of a mountaintop here. Oh dear God. When will this torture end? So there's an underpass there. I'll just keep it like that to keep it nice and simple. And that's going to skedoodle out and then connect down to pretty much here. So we're all tracks now, boys. We're all tracks at this point. I don't really want it to create any elevated sections, so I might get it to kind of slightly turn off there. And then to bend that round and in. Yeah. So that would run to there, keeping it on the ground. And then this one, if it all goes to plan, not too much cash. Right, connect it there first. Voila. I could do a V that way, but I don't know whether I'd run train lines this way. Who knows? But it gives me the option to and the ability to do so if I need to. So bring this a bit further out because the train station itself is on the smaller side to normal. So just kind of give us a little bit more breathing space on entering and exiting. And then we got to do this one next as well. So what I reckon we'll do, I reckon we'll build the elevated section first. Oh no, look how much money it is. When does it start coming down is the question. Oh dear God. 1.9 million. I mean, can I slightly bring it away to not delete? No. It's going to cost me a fortune. It's going to cost me a fortune. So we don't get to the very end until there. Yikes. But remember, guys, if I was to do a bridge... Oh, do you know what? That's not... Oh, hang on. Okay, we'll do normal to here. And then we'll see what support on bridges we can do. Right, could do with some cash, guys. You know, the green stuff. There we go. As soon as I said that, see, I manifested it, boys. I manifested that green stuff right there. Right, the reason I'm making it so long right now is so I can do a crisscross here. Oh, we almost had the money then. We almost had the money. So we'll build this. And then this now going all the way down. If we can try and implement... Or actually, we're kind of bending around this way. But if we can try and implement... I mean, because these looked a little bit cheaper, right? 1.6, 1.3. I'll go for the 1.6. It's not that cheap, but at least it gives us a little bit of stilts. And we maintain some type of a speed limit. And then we're in. Then we are in. And then we can rest easy. We can then rest easy. So I reckon this will be the last train line that I technically do. In terms of passenger-wise for a while. Until we can build a bit more money. Pay off our loan. And then change the current passenger trains to upgrade them a bit more to be, one, quicker. Some lines might need multiple trains, and also to change a lot of the carriages as well. So this is on the right hand side. So this one now bending all the way around and down is on the left hand side. So we just wait for the pennies to come in for that. I've just noticed it's actually digging into the ground a little bit. I don't want it to do that, but hey ho. Why can't I move here? There we go. Right, it's not on the right side. That's on the correct side. And then we should be good, boys. We should be good. We are so close. I mean, once I've done this, I've then got to build all the signals, and then I've got to afford a train on this route. And then I've got to make it make sense between the two stations here. That's going to be fun as well. Right, come on, guys. But the main thing is we're connected in Liverpool, which is also quite a large city, which also needs its own bus route to kind of collect people up to it as well. Right, it's all fun and games. It's all fun and games. So this one shouldn't be as much money. It's not, but problem is I don't have said money. Right, there we go. So bring this a little bit out. And then connect it in. So if I do that from here, which will cost me... I'll do it there. 15 grand, then just going right to the end. Alright, bam. Bam. And then the crisscross. And then guess what, boys? All the train lines I've done. Yay. Right, there we go. Bam. So, let's quickly sort the signals out. Because that will be quite important for us. I'll do one quickly just here. And then one as we just enter. One would have to go there. And then one would have to go here. So that's the signals for that little section. That little run. Technically complete. So one would go... Oh. There we go. And then we'll go bam, bam. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. And then we'll do one last one just here. Once we've got the cashola in the bank. And then the last one here will be on this side as we enter. Same thing for just over here. Bam. We'll go bam, bam. Bam. And then bam, just there before the crisscross. So that's all done. Okay, we can rest a little bit easier right now. That's now technically all done. It runs down to Exeter. That's pretty sweet. So it's the third line that interacts with our southern routes to kind of give a little bit of breathing space. The only problem is if you were like, say, you were in Bristol and wanted to get to, for example, London. The way for you to do it would either be going down to Exeter, switching there, all the way down to Brighton, switching there to go into London, or going all the way up to there, trying to get over to there, down and in. Eventually we'll have, when we run into Wales, a route that crosses through here, here, here into London. So everywhere is as connected as it potentially could be. But now we got to wait for a bit of revenue to come in so I can afford the train to run on that line. Damn, it's expensive. Very expensive. Yeah. But it's all good. It's all good. There's no stress. There's no dramas, boys. It's all good in the hood. Okay, so we need to get the train depot down. So building lines for the train depot. And I'll implement it. Do you know what? Yeah, I'll implement it around here. It's not a problem. So if I build that there and then just run a train track in. Now I know it's not all high speed. I'm very, very well aware of this. But until I want to pay high speed rail prices, it's just what it's going to be for now. It's what it's going to be for now until eventually we upgrade it. But the main thing is it's all in. So let's create the route then. Let's create the route. So a new line. And it would start... We'll use Birmingham as the middle bit first. So start in Birmingham. We've got to make sure we get to the right platform here. And then back down to Birmingham. Which will then go to Bristol. And then down to Exeter. Back up to Bristol. And then it starts again in Birmingham. So let's change the colour here. Let's go for like a green colour so we can kind of see it quite nicely. So... Birmingham branch here will be on number 2. Then the Bristol one works for us. Yeah. Now, I always say I want it to be on the platform it exits the station from. So in Bristol, it would be on the opposite side. Because it's going to exit... Oh, no. Exeter, sorry. Opposite side. So it exits that way and it's on that one. So, yeah, Bristol's all okay. Same with then Liverpool. It needs to be on number 1 because it exits that way. That's my rule that I'm going to use for this company. So that's all in. So we need to call this one then. It's actually called our Liverpool to Exeter line. There we go. Nice and standard, nice and simple. Liverpool to Exeter. So once I can afford a train on that, we'll buy it. But we got to do a fair few configurations still. So I'll buy the train first before I do anything. But we need to create a bus route around Liverpool to bring people to the stations. Not stations. I really need to configure the Birmingham one to kind of collect that a larger radius now. The city's slightly grown since I built that. But also to incorporate an easier transport between the 2 stations here for passengers to switch. Bristol will need one as well, so we have to sort out the road network there. And we've already got one in Exeter, so it's really just the 3 cities that we now need to slightly configure. So how much is this train going to set us back then? So if I was to be realistically with this, and let's say I was buying a brand new... If I had all the money in the world, what train would I buy right now? So this one's got nearly 2,000 horsepower, tractive power 200 kN. Right, that's a little bit low. That's half the horsepower. Tractive power is okay. That's a better tractive power and better horsepower. And that one's not much more. So ideally, this is probably looking like the better one. Now that alone is 7 million. There. And if I was to add the passenger wagons, you would obviously want to go. I mean, what's the speed of this one here? 87. So obviously you want to go for the one that kind of carries the most. This is 81, so it does reduce the speed to 81, but it does carry 33 passengers. It's 48 tons versus... So it is the heaviest of the load, of the lot of them, but it's 2.6 million a pop. Now, this is 1.8. Yes, it doesn't carry as many passengers. It's a lot lighter, so you can have more of them in the grand scheme of things. And they're 1.8 million. Now, in terms of money, this is probably the better option. But you'll need to have at least 168 capacity, I reckon. With the amount of passengers that are going to be using it. And then that becomes a $21 million train. Just see why I can't buy the good trains right now. I know. But you probably wouldn't even want to go that mad to begin with. It's always good to go to what you can afford. Because it will still make money. And if it's too small, it means there's always going to be passengers waiting. So you're always guaranteed cha-ching in the bank. That's the thing. So we could start at an 84 capacity. I mean, I could start with a 63 capacity, but I feel like we'll start at an 84, which means I need 14.2 million. And that'll be the best train we've got so far. But again, it all comes down to the sweet, sweet cash Ola. So we'll wait. It shouldn't take us too long right now with the way that the money's coming in. It shouldn't take us, you know, too long. But this is where we are right now. This is just the situation that we're in. I don't have the unlimited money at this moment in the game to just be able to upgrade and buy whatever I want. Why are the vehicles going slow here? Oh, because there's jams. Hot jams. As everybody's trying to turn in to go into London. I did say I was going to build the M25, so don't think that I have forgotten. I'm still going to buy the M25. I'm still going to buy it, so don't worry. It's still coming. It's still coming. Right, okay. I mean, look at the traffic jam to go up to Liverpool right now. This is why we're building train lines. But it is what it is. At this moment in time, there's not really a fat lot I can do. So this is probably the most money I've ever had in the game in one single time right now. And it's still not enough for me to buy the train that I want. But it's going to be a very, very highly profitable line. It's going to make me so much cash. It's going to be redonkulous. Alright, so this train's coming in, which is already filled to the brim. This is why we need more trains on these lines. We will get them. We will get them. So where's my London train then? Where's the London train at, boys? Here it is. It's just leaving Brighton now as we speak. So that will be heading back. Choo choo. The train heading back to Birmingham over here. Maxed out. That'll be a nice chunk of change being made as well. I feel like we need to elevate this one to go through, which will eventually go up to Sheffield. I'll give it a small little loop going back and around, but that would just be too weird. It wouldn't really make much money. Right, incoming. How much you get for this one? 1.2 million. Still not enough. Oh. We've got enough. Right, okay. So this will future-proof me for quite some time. So we're going to go for these ones. 1, 2, there we go. 84 capacity, which it's reasonable for this moment in time. It's reasonable. And off we go. Off we now go. So, it'll be a while until we start seeing this fully making the big cash. Because there's a lot we've now got to do to make it work. So I think my first concern will be is the loop in Birmingham to get them from train station to train station right now. That'll be my big concern that I need to first address before anything else. Because I can bring all the passengers over here, but it's quite difficult for them to get to where they need to get to. So, I do want to do trams, but again, I'm not going to be able to afford trams at the moment. So we'll just stick to bus stops from the get-go. Now, we've got a stop here. I say stop. We've got a double stop there at the train station. And we'll do a double stop here. Oh, wow. I mean, I'm nearly in 2 million in debt. There's me thinking I could do all this. Right, anybody on board getting off here? Nobody. Not yet. Not yet. Wow, nearly 3 million in debt. Okay, we're waiting for some time then, aren't we? We are waiting for some time. There's 6 people currently waiting. Right, anybody on board on this train? 1 person's currently on board. Right, we're waiting, boys. We're waiting. We're waiting. Picking up somebody else. Off it goes again. Off it goes again. So there's actually 13 people waiting at the Liverpool to Exeter route. So that will pick up a few people going back as well. So it will slowly kick in. You just got to make these stops connect to the wider area of the city for it to make complete and utter sense. So no dramas, no issues. That's managed to skedoodle through and get here with ease. So a couple of pennies, and now 12 people going back. Glorious. Okay. So we've got some cash now. How long that will last, I don't know, but I'm not particularly going to be spending big dollar bills right now. Right. So I reckon, where does that cover? That covers about there. So if I go for a stop here and here, And then I do a stop here and here. I mean, ideally, I don't know if the streets will allow me to cut through like that. Oh, I think it would. Money. That's the excuse all the time right now. That's perfect, because it does mean that we replace this stop over here with something here. Which gives a little bit more connectivity. But what are we losing out on? We're actually losing out on quite a bit here at the moment, aren't we? Actually, you know what? We'll delete these. Because we'll bring this down to here and to here. And then those guys can walk up to there anyway. So we'll bring this. Wow! I have the money, I don't have the money. There into there, which is going to replace that one. So that then goes into there. Now, we kind of need it to... We also wanted to kind of connect through this, but not lose too much of the sight of where we're going. So there and there. We'll go there and there. And then we'll do... Yes. We'll do here and here. Now, how much of the radius does this kind of connect to? Okay, that will do what I need to do. So let me now just change the whole route and then delete the bus stops that we no longer use. So manage the line. So in Mill Lane, it goes to Hayfield. I actually want it to go to add station to here and then delete Hayfield. So it goes Mill Lane, Richmond, and then I want it to go up to here. So delete. Then... Oh no, I can keep School Lane. I put these two in here, but I didn't realise those were there. So School Lane can stay. Right, School Lane can stay. Windsor goes and North Street. So School Lane. So where we'll then have a stop here. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Thank you very much. To there. Down to here. To then get it to there. So a little bit wider radius. Hopefully it covers. And then the other route. I'm going to manage the line. So delete all of this. So North Street is, you know, we'll delete it all and do it again. So add station. There to there. To there. Make sure it's on the right one. So it is all on the right side, isn't it? Yeah, correct. Yeah. So the point of it is not to be efficient in a sense at the moment. The point of it is to kind of cover Birmingham a lot more. So if you can cover Birmingham a lot more, it makes the city more connected to the train lines. Which means more passengers can go to where they need to get to. That's the whole point of it. So delete you. Delete you. There we go. So the train stations now connected to this bus stop are now connected to the wider range. Which, looking at these two here, they cover the whole of the city centre. So I reckon about 85%, 85 to 90% of Birmingham right now is covered with the ability for them to get to some type of public transport to eventually end up at a train station. Now, it is going to mean that we're going to see a larger number of people then waiting at a lot of the bus stops, which is a good thing, okay? It's a very good thing, because people are then trying to get to a destination. It's then just down to us on what capacity we need to put on those routes. So that's good, but again, at the moment, all they can do once they get to Liverpool is go here. So I've got to now do the same thing here. So for Liverpool, I don't know whether to do like a double route or just kind of keep it as a single route to begin with. But we'll utilize here. So we'll stop there, and then we'll go to here. We'll go to there. We'll bring them into the city. Stop just there. Stop just there. Now we've got to be careful because they can and probably will get caught up in the traffic. So I reckon just that there's enough. Some of them are a bit close, but it should be okay. It should hopefully avoid. So if I go for like red on this, it does avoid a lot of the congested roads. Only where it crosses just there, or might go into here and turn out, or there. But it should technically avoid it all. But now that station becomes more connected to the city. So we're just going to have to get a little bit of a road depot on. So I'll put this just over here for now. And buy a couple of buses for it. So passenger-wise, oh, we can get these new ones. Okay, we'll get... I reckon 2 of them will be what we need. Which would be line 1, which I've got to rename that line. We got to rename it real quick to the Liverpool. What happened there? Liverpool loop. There we go. Let the buses do their thing. Let the buses do their thing. So it makes Liverpool now more connected to the station and more people can get to it. And so if like this building's now covered, it means anybody in Birmingham can go to that building. So we now should start to see a lot more movement. There's a lot more people waiting over here. So all I've got to now do is the Bristol connection. So for this, Bristol's on a slight little hill. So I think first what we do is we kind of... Let's take a player ownership on these roads. We kind of extend the roads. I should have used a smaller road like this. To kind of build the city up a little bit more. I know it slightly destroys it, but me placing the roads in just kind of gives them a little bit of an oomph to build a little bit more. And obviously it connects up my lines when I start putting the bus routes down. So this will only really technically need one bus route. One bus on the route is what I mean. There we go. So loop. Change the color of it. There we go. Now I don't think we would even need... Do I have a vehicle depot anywhere close by? No. I don't think we'll need the big one that I just paid for Liverpool. I think it'll just need to be like some type of a smaller bus. So I don't see that many people needing to try to kind of travel by bus. So I could go with something like this, the smaller Volvo 5000. It's a lot cheaper to run a year and hold 17 people. So if it does get a little bit busier, we kind of got our backs slightly covered. So we've got to rename that line as well. Oh, is there an issue? Oh, I've put down cargo stops. Seniac. You absolute noob. You absolute noob. Right, this is our Bristol loop. There we go. So all the cities and all those stops are now more intertwined and connected, so more people can get from point A to point B. And breathe. So these stops over here, we got 30 people waiting there, 90 people waiting there. So I reckon those buses are not going to be enough. But it's bringing more people to the station. So that's the main thing. That's the main thing it does, and that's why it's important. So Birmingham Station looking pretty good. So my concern is now these stops here, there's a lot more people now waiting. So it's a case of these loops. Now manage the vehicles. There's 8 vehicles on these loops. Do I carbon copy replace these for something like this? It would mean that we can carry more people all the time, but I don't feel like we would need 8. So what if I get rid of 2 of them? So we have 6 buses. And replace the 6 buses with one of those. Now that's loop 2, by the way. That is loop 2. We also have loop 1. So same thing again right now. So cell 5, it should leave us then with 6. And replace these with the right streetcar. There we go. Maximum capacities now on the bus routes. So we should be able to get people to the train station a whole lot easier. And more of an abundancy of them as well. So we can now carry 26 at a time. So we should make some dents in moving people around. This is going to be good. So I don't think that this... Oh, wow. 84 people already on board. Is this making money? The last 3 years, it starts to turn a profit. That's really good to see. I wasn't expecting to make money that early, that quick. If I'm completely honest with you. So, in it comes. Nice little chunk of change. I'll take that, I'll take that. And off it goes again. Off it goes again. So, that route's now all done. Eventually, what I want to do is set up trams that go around Birmingham. To be honest with you, I don't know whether I want to do trams or whether this type of capacity for buses will be more than enough. The only reason I say trams is because Birmingham doesn't really have that much traffic-ish, right? We'll see how it dies down now I've got the train lines in. But it doesn't really have that much traffic, so trams could work out really well, and it's just the aesthetics of seeing trams going through the city. We'll kind of see what happens about that. London, well, it's a mess. It is a mess, but it's our mess, boys. I might do the same to this. Manage it. Get rid of 2 buses. So we've got the 6. Replace them for these. Okay, you know what? Can't afford it. I'll hold out for now. The other London loop, we'll get rid of 2. So we'll just get rid of 2 right now, and then we'll replace them carbon, like for like with the street right ones. But we also need to sort out the bus loop. The loop for the M25. The highway going around it. Have we got loads of people waiting here? What type of buses have we got going around here now? See, this is what we got to do. We got to manage a lot of these vehicles right now and go through them. So we'll do that next episode, but we've now got all the passenger routes for what I want right now implemented. This, I'm going to call this phase 1 of the train lines complete for now. We're going to make them as efficient as we can. We're going to sort out all the vehicles on them once we get a bit more money coming back in. And then we'll try and take a look at capacities, get the right type of vehicles for the capacity and the demands that we kind of have. Update them so they're as efficient as they possibly can be. Before we then start to do more and more expansions. So this is looking really good so far. I'm very, very impressed. Very, very impressed. These guys are killing it. We need more carriages on this one. Because it's been outdone by cargo. Oh, we've got new gondolas. Right, I'll add more of these first. I'll add 2 more. And let's see how we get on. Because we're getting more coal delivered than iron ore. So we'll see how they get on with that. Anyway, looking good. Looking very, very good. Very, 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 very good. Lots of passengers on the southern line as well. So this is where we can now slowly start going through it and making sure that we upgrade all the trains to the right capacities. But Birmingham seems to be working out fairly well right now, so I'm quite happy about that. Liverpool is ticking along quite nice as well. There's lots of people waiting, meaning lots of people need to be transported. And we've got us all set up right now as well for when we do the elevated going through Manchester, which will kind of dig in. So yeah, so that Liverpool will go from Manchester, Leeds to Scarborough. We'll extend this Birmingham line, which will go up to Sheffield, through Leeds, and then go up to Middlesbrough, Newcastle, on the way to Edinburgh into Scotland. But obviously, it'll be different train lines, so don't worry about that one going too far. It won't. It'll be a different line. But it will crisscross at Leeds with this line here. That one will run up into Carlisle. It might even actually kind of terminate in Newcastle. And then we do a crisscross there and have another line come out that way to go this way around and crisscross. So I've got it all planned in my head. It's just money. But guess what, boys? My loan is 10 million. I have 7 million. I'll also repay back the loan in the next episode. I've said it. I'm going to promise you. And to make you all aware, I'll repay half the loan now. Half the loan has been repaid. I mean, it's only 100 grand a year. It's nothing. It's pennies. But I know a lot of you guys get triggered when I've still got an outstanding loan. Anyway, guys, we'll end it for here. Hope you did enjoy this. If you did, smash that like button down below. But we are more connected than we have ever been. And hopefully more and more passengers can be transported. And are we now making even more money? I mean, it's touch and go. It depends on where we spend it. But if you take a look at our income, it's a bit wavy, bumpy, but it's definitely, we're reaching new heights. So our biggest year to date, 23.4 million in revenue. Income, I should say. Guys, until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.